Hello everyone, get that sound off.
Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse News this Saturday morning. Real world application of crypto.
Excellent news.
Yeah.
And before we start, Julian,
Yep.
can you tell us why you think this is important?
Important?
Yeah, why is it important that we give people real world applications of crypto?
Well, there's more in crypto than just the coins, isn't there? That's
Absolutely.
my opinion on the things. But I'd also like people watching this that are normal people rather than just geeks. Because this is going to impact on absolutely everybody, isn't it?
Well, that's offended the other half of the people that were watching
No,
this
because
who are
you
geeks.
counter for them. You two look after them. I'm here to look after the mass majority.
Well, we
Who
have
it will impact on without them knowing. And I'm
That's the
just
key.
trying to show them the benefits.
That's the key. We always say when you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram,
You don't want to know.
you don't know you're on the internet.
No.
Or you don't know what
Yeah.
technology is used.
Yeah,
And I think if we get crypto to the point where
yeah.
we're using crypto
Look at
without...
when you're making your Tesco order.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Blade drummers are outside, walking
So-
down Main Street.
So would you
Oh,
like
yeah.
to know what's on this today's stream?
Yes, what? Yeah, good question. What is on this?
I'm so glad we prepped this properly and everyone remembers the
I was
lines.
supposed to say it. I remember what I was supposed to say, but you know anyway. What?
Well, we're going to start with a sex tape
Oh.
Alright.
and we're going to end with a sex change.
Oh.
Okay. That's not very crypto.
No, but in the middle, we're going to look at the real world applications of crypto.
Okay. All right.
Because, you know, after Julian wanted to murder all the whales on
Not
Wednesday,
murder.
you wanted to take them out of the sea.
Fish.
You want
Wanted
to
to
fish
fish
the, you were
them.
going to fish the whales out of
Yeah.
the sea.
I mean, it's not murder, is it?
Yeah, it is. So we're going to look at an
I don't think it
application.
is.
Well, yeah, you're still killing the dolphins and
It's
killing
sport,
whales.
surely.
No,
They're trying to get away. You're trying to get
we're
them.
gonna get
Little
caught
battle,
off again.
fastest there, and survival of the fittest.
so we have pollution,
Yep.
oil,
Yep.
and how the oil companies are going to use it. We're going to look at how Ethereum's being used in cancer research.
Fascinating.
And the other one we're not going to read about is VeChain and proof of
Apparently it's very
authority
boring.
because that's way above
Yeah, I didn't
everybody's
understand
pay
it.
grade.
No NFTs today. But
And no NFTs today.
Thank goodness.
Well, actually, you do kind of have an NFT reward program on the pollution article. So we'll
Yeah.
go through that as well,
Yeah.
won't we? But to start with, Brogan, as always,
it's a Bitcoin price.
how much is the Bitcoin price, Julian?
16,400.
16,600.
Okay, well, seems as the person who set this all up this morning, and he's guessed the closest, obviously.
Every time.
16,630.
Unbelievable.
We're crabbing again, aren't we?
Yeah, we're crabbing.
We're crabbing.
Hasn't changed since last.
We really need to
streams.
record that Bob Marley song. We really need to get that because then Brogan could just put it on us singing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but
It's
there's
true.
a huge problem with that.
What?
We can't
Wait,
sing.
copyright. Oh, was that as
Doesn't
well?
matter.
Oh, it does.
It doesn't, because if we can't sing, then the copyright is not an issue because people will not recognise it.
If we've got 5 or 6 people watching us
Yeah,
and we sing,
yeah.
we will have 2 people watching us.
Tell you what, if we've got 5 people watching, why don't we get them to pledge a tenner each to stop us recording it?
That's a good
We've
idea.
got to make some money at some point.
Yeah.
So proof of threat.
Proof of threat. Yeah.
Like that. Right, do you want to bring up the word on the bird? We've done
Yes.
the Bitcoin price. Now, go on.
So the word on the bird is 90% of the media in the United States is controlled by just 6 corporations: AT&T, CBS, Comcast, Disney, News Corp, and Viacom.
Yes,
I would rather have 8 billion people discuss, debate, and report the news on Twitter Spaces.
that's right. So if you bring the picture up,
Who's this thing from? Who's actually put this out on the tweets?
Plan
Plan B.
B.
Oh,
Plan
the
B or
rapper.
Plan C?
Plan C.
The rapper.
Plan C.
Oh, Plan C. No, I don't know that one.
No, it's a different one. There's a Plan B and a Plan C.
Oh, it's them.
So
The Plan A.
there's a reason for this.
Yeah.
When the internet started, 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago, there were hundreds of companies all
You
trying
were
to do.
there, weren't you?
I-
You were right at the front of it, weren't you?
I was there
Cutting
5,000
edge.
years ago. Yes, like the meme says,
Yeah.
with the guy from Lord of the Rings. I
Yeah.
was there. I remember it.
Yeah.
And yes, it was like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Crypto's in the same situation.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm showing this is to show that although there are 30, 40 blockchains, there's 2,000 coins, there's 25 exchanges, we're at the expansion stage of crypto.
Yeah.
Some things are going to fail, some things are going to work.
Yeah.
Lastminute.com, Amazon didn't make any money for years.
Some things are going to merge.
Some things are going to merge. And what happens is there's going to come a point in crypto, and we thought that was going to happen with BlackRock, Coinbase, and FTX.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, FTX have failed. There's going to be a contraction phase where, like you say, we're going to have a merger.
Yeah.
The exchanges will merge, as Brogan pointed out on Wednesday, with interoperability.
Yeah.
You're going to have NFTs and coins which can seamlessly move from, say, the Cardano network to the Ethereum network, etc. So this is just to basically say to people who are really confused
Yeah.
by what's going on,
Yeah.
that in 6 or 7 years' time, the internet and crypto will all become one great big thing,
Yeah.
and you're not going to know that you're on the Ethereum network, you're not going to know you're on the Polygon network. So that was just to kind of highlight the similarities.
Evolution.
And evolution, exactly. So, got a very itchy nose today.
Yeah, I've got a storm on us as well. It's really hurting.
Yeah, I think it's the cold weather. It's gone from about 23 degrees to 3 degrees in Gibraltar.
Yeah, loving it.
It's absolutely
great.
freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, they have said it's going to rain about 14 times, and it's only rained once out of the 14 times.
Yeah, it's all changed again, hasn't it?
Mm,
It's annoying. I just want a good thunderstorm.
No, I don't.
I do.
You can't do anything.
I know, that's the point.
Oh, dear.
Talking of downpours, let's look at the FTX sex tape.
All right.
That's the best segue we've ever had. Right there.
And I'm horrified at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this isn't a PG article, although thankfully
And I'm having to read it out.
we don't have any naked pictures of SBX.
It's not real, is it?
It
I
is
don't
real.
believe it's real.
It's real.
I think it's a threat.
No, they've been on amphetamines for about 6 months. So
But
they're
when you say they, who are we talking about?
the
here?
entire upper management of FTX. They take amphetamines on a regular basis.
We've got no proof for that, have we?
We have got proof.
What's the proof?
The proof is the people who've worked there who've come out and said
Oh,
they've been on amphetamines since the start of the year. They didn't know what they were doing. They're not making rational decisions, and there's a sex cult. Let's get through the article, please,
Wowzers.
Brogan. Before
I don't have to read this, but
there's not that much. We're not getting you to read out the.
I don't
the
think
ins
there's
and
any
outs.
noughties in there.
There's
as a
no
friend
ins
of
and
mine used
outs.
to say.
There's no ins and outs. Take it away.
FTX insider claims to be releasing uncensored sex tape, allegedly between disgraced Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison soon. Look at that. It's horrible. A supposed anonymous source from within FTX claims to be in possession of a sex tape allegedly involving the polycule of recently notorious individuals Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison of Alameda Research.
Yeah.
This information was posted on a website that claims to be uncensorable by anyone and stated they will post a sex tape on November the 18th.
When's November the 18th? Was that
Yesterday.
Yeah.
It's not there, is it?
Yeah, but I've been keeping an eye on it, don't worry.
I know you will.
News of the sex tape rapidly spread across social media, with many already creating memes and talking about it as if they've seen it, expressing their satisfaction and profound life-changing experience after seeing it. It's currently unknown if this is merely a hoax, an elaborate troll, or whether the supposed sex tape actually exists.
So that were quite a big article, wasn't it? And yet you chose to highlight those bits.
Yeah. There's an awful lot in there, which I think we don't need to undress.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of tweets.
No. And I think we should. I mean,
what's the purpose of releasing such a tape?
I think it's not the release of the tape. I think it's the threat to the world as a whole of releasing it. That's what I would say. We're going to release it, and people are horrified. And I think what they needed to do is have a GoFundMe page to be paid not to release it and to destroy it.
But I understand what you're saying. But what's the idea behind releasing it? Just to show him up? Well, show them up.
Well, I'm going to put
like a public.
I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on.
Stoning exhibition.
No, I don't think that there is a tape.
I don't think there's a tape.
And I think it's distraction tactics being used by SBF and his gang to take people off the idea. Like Matt Hancock in the jungle. Yeah. So the man is responsible in some part, not wholly, for people not being able to go to see the last rites and go to the funeral of their relatives who've passed away. But because he's eaten some cockroaches and he's jumped into a river full of eels, he's suddenly been absolved of all of his sins. And a tweet I put out the other night was, Alex Mashinsky and Celsius lost people billions. He's not in prison. The other chap who did it, that was on that thread, Do Kwon with Luna, he lost billions of other people's money. He's not in prison. So what do you think is going to happen to SBF? So I think this is a coordinated plan to distract people from the fact he's lost $24 billion. I'm hoping that I'm right.
Yes.
Because if it's released, I mean, if I was Elon, I mean, that might be why Elon Musk has locked all of his staff out of the office over the weekend. Maybe he wants to turn Twitter off to save us from seeing this video.
Either that or he's scanning his entire offices because same's been going on there.
Probably. Right, should we get on to some real...
Actual stuff.
Actual world-changing crypto news?
Well, I have a comment that says, someone says it's an elaborate troll, they think. Someone says it's filth. I completely agree with that.
Filth is the word, yeah. But going back to it, who's going to get the rights to make the film of this?
Who's that guy with the moustache and the slightly balding?
Narrow it down a bit.
The guy with
especially in November.
The one who was in all the different sex tapes in the 80s and the 90s. He had the moustache and he had long hair and he was going bald on the top. He'll get it.
The little fella?
Yeah. Him.
Ron Jeremy?
Yeah, that's it. Ron Jeremy.
He's not going to get it.
He's got to play Sam Bankman-Fried.
No, he hasn't.
Absolutely.
No, this is a blockbuster film. You don't want it niche.
No, you need him to play.
No, you don't.
Have you seen Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yes, I have. You can't have him playing that.
Okay, Jonah Hill.
Somebody like that,
right.
Yeah.
And then Emily Watson.
Or what about the guy that played Olaf? He's got a great voice, hasn't he? You know the fellow that did the vocals for Olaf in...
from Frozen?
Yeah.
But he doesn't look anything like Sam Bankman-Fried.
Doesn't matter, imagine that voice.
So if he has a big burly black man playing Sam Bankman-Fried.
Doesn't matter these days. That's what we want, inclusivity.
I want to hear what Shell are doing with Bitcoin miners.
Yeah.
Not who's going to play Sam Bankman-Fried in a sex film.
Now you've spelt it out, I realise the error of my ways.
Right. These next few articles are golden. And I wouldn't tune off, no matter what Julian says about whaling, and sex, stay on board.
Stay awake.
And
Not
listen
boring.
to what we have to say about the big farmers, big oil companies, and what was the other one? Oh, yeah, getting all the plastic out of the sea.
Yeah.
Which helps you.
It helps me.
Helps you that.
Yeah, because my first port of call, as you remember, we're just throwing pebbles.
Yeah.
We don't have to get to the whales.
No. Take it away.
Could big oil cut Bitcoin mining energy costs in half? Shell seems to think so, claiming its cooling fluid system could reduce costs and emissions by up to 48%. With the continuing development of the FTX situation and market contagion, good news may be getting overlooked, like in the case of an oil giant Shell looking to enter the Bitcoin mining scene and develop green energy initiatives. Shell looked to propose ways to reduce energy costs and tolls by nearly 50% with newly developed cooling systems. In early May, a group of environmental organizations came together to issue a letter to the United States Office of Science and Technology Policy. The letter called for increased regulation of proof-of-work crypto mining, with a particular focus on Bitcoin. Bitcoin uses 2/3 of all the energy consumed by other cryptocurrencies, though when compared to the banking and gold industries, it uses less than half the energy.
Can I just point something out there?
Yeah.
This letter was funded by a group of companies in America. Who do you think funded it?
Go on.
The banks.
Okay.
And why did the banks fund it?
Go on.
Because Bitcoin is uncensorable. So the banks have no control over it.
Yeah, they don't want that.
So they sponsored this letter to Congress
Yeah.
asking them to regulate or basically shut down mining in America. Sorry, carry on. We've had another comment. Why aren't the comments showing up?
It's work in progress, as you said.
Well, it's not a work. It's more like an unworking in progress.
He's very unfair.
It's not very nice, is it?
He's very unfair.
It's not giving me like I've had a bad back.
Yeah.
I've hardly been able to get out of bed that
Because
well.
you've been carrying us. That's why you've got
Yeah,
a bad
exactly.
back.
Can you hear that noise? Is that feedback? That's the sound of the smallest violin in the world being played.
Anyway, you haven't given me the laptop to actually sort it out.
Okay, let's carry on with the article.
Okay.
I won't interrupt you anymore. I'm sorry.
Good. Earlier in May, industry leaders and major Bitcoin investors contributed to a letter in defense of industry practices. Sailor said were concerns premised. What?
It's badly written.
Sailor said were concerns premised on misconceptions.
Said Yoda.
Yeah.
Sailor Yoda. Confused I am. Bitcoin good.
Ready.
See?
See, it's Spanish. Okay, one of the main misconceptions was that data centers pollute communities and general harmful greenhouse gases, when in fact they do not emit CO2 or other pollutants
Correct.
at all, and are no
Absolutely
different from
right.
data centers owned by big tech like Amazon, Apple, Meta, and more. Crypto billionaires aren't the only parties interested in advancing and participating in Bitcoin mining. Following ExxonMobil's lead into the space,
Yep.
Shell intends to make its entry. The oil giant has shared that with the help of its recently developed immersion cooling fluid, it hopes to increase the possibility of green Bitcoin mining. Shell did state that it could potentially cut down energy costs and carbon footprints of mining by upwards to 48%. If achieved, the feat would be instrumental in accelerating global Bitcoin adoption.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Interesting.
Now, we covered this, well, a while ago, 6 or 8 weeks ago. You have the flare, which is the gas that's burnt off when they're, getting the oil
Yeah.
out of the ground.
Totally wasted, isn't it?
Totally wasted, pollutes the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, the fracking.
Yeah.
Capture it. Yeah.
And they've created a way now to capture that.
Cooling.
Yep. And then the energy, the energy hasn't got anywhere to go. So they're using it to mine Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it's actually taking harmful gases out of the atmosphere, and it's actually doing the world a favour.
Yeah.
The problem being is that you have to do it at source. So the Bitcoin miners or the equipment has to be on the oil rig.
Wow.
Or, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can't get that power because when you're taking oil out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, there's
So
no
they're
other way.
actually doing this.
Yes. They are. They're doing it in the same way that the thermo energy is that in El Salvador or somewhere. So what Bitcoin is doing, it's driving adoption of renewable energy because everyone sees Bitcoin as being this this planet killer. And in fact, what's it's doing, these companies are now looking and saying, right, if we can trap thermal energy, if we can trap hydroelectric energy, what we can do is we can actually make an absolutely ton of cash out of it by farming Bitcoin. And that's what they're doing. And then other countries and other places where they're producing too much electricity for their city or their state to consume in the downtime, because that's another thing people forget. People think that extra energy is being produced, and in fact all Bitcoin is doing is using the redundant energy that's left over from providing cities and states with their own their own power. So it's just a spin to make Bitcoin look bad.
Yeah, but this is very good.
This is brilliant.
It brings me back to that article we looked at with that Bitcoin mine in that really quiet town, and the really sad looking pair of old people in front of the huge grey building.
That was noise pollution though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Whereas when they're out at sea, nobody's affected.
That.
So what we're sending all the old
Maybe
people
the
out
whales
to
might be a
sea?
bit mad about it.
No, we're sending the farms out to sea. That's what we're saying.
The old people out to sea.
Yeah, if people
Sending them
complain
out
about
to
the noise of the crypto farm, we should put them on a boat and send them out to sea.
you
That's
can't
Julian's
send them out
idea.
No, they're not going to be having enough quick reflexes
won't the noise
to fish for
affect the
whales,
whales?
are they?
Next. Right, what are we up to next? We've had a comment.
Oh, what's the comment?
I'm having a whale of a time. I don't think people are taking you seriously today.
No.
Right, plastic solution. You see, that's a play on words there because it's plastic pollution, but we've spun it now.
Nice, that.
It's a plastic solution. And this one's very close to home. This is actually about an Irishman. An Irishman, not a Welshman and a Scotsman, an Irishman, a phone and a plastic bag. Fire away.
Okay. Blockchain and the world's growing plastic problem. People are being asked to make changes to help mitigate climate change, but I can't pull a CO2 molecule from the air and show it to you.
Good point.
Everything makes its way to sea, and none more so than plastics. There are now 5 floating plastic islands in different oceans across the world. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is 3 times the size of France,
That's nuts, isn't it?
with 1.8 billion pieces of floating plastic. How's it all accumulate to itself? I assume it's the
Tides.
patterns of waves.
Tides, yeah.
It's crazy. 9% of all plastic waste enters the ocean through rivers, mostly through a few hundred rivers in Asia, Africa, and Latin America.
See, my idea again to help you. My idea was to seal off all the rivers.
Yeah, it was, for the salt.
Yeah. Now what we could do is just put massive nets on the end of every river, and surely that would capture. They do that in Australia.
But if we do that, then boats won't float.
No, not to catch the salt, to catch the plastic.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, they do it in Australia.
It's a good idea, that.
They've got those big.
Why wouldn't you do that?
I don't think people care, and that's why this guy's crusade is so important. Because before social media, anyway, I'm not going to carry on because he says this in the article. Sorry.
Okay. Plastics.io is another project that addresses the end games, identifying credible recycling and cleanup projects. Canada-based Plastic Bank also works to incentivize stewards to collect plastic from the oceans, and to date claims that its ocean stewards have stopped more than 64 million kilograms of plastic from entering the ocean. That's not hard. That's not reading that. In 2008, Sean Lynch,
Sean Lynch,
founder of Open Litter Map and Littercoin in Cork, Ireland, discovered GIS, the mapping software for real-world data, such as what governments use to map roads or pipelines, and, as a gamer, saw that it was very similar to many of the maps in his games. He then wondered whether he could use this tool to map real-world data into a game. I wondered if I could use GIS to plot this illegal dump onto a map and start a conversation locally. It was in 2012, and Lynch was puzzling away about how to capture the data when the perfect tool in smartphones arrived. One day, I remembered seeing someone with an iPhone on the beach, and they were using it to track their location. And this was my next aha moment. Why not use this increasingly common mobile device to take photographs and document the litter? People are being asked to make changes to help mitigate climate change, but I can't pull a CO2 molecule from the air and show it to you. People hear about the environment as some faraway place being polluted, and although it's true, this approach is disconnected from most people's day-to-day reality. But if I can help people discover litter on a more local level, like when people zoom into their home on Google Maps for the first time, I have your attention. This revolution, combined with approximately 4 billion people owning a powerful data collection instrument, their smartphone, gives birth to citizen science. I had been toying with the idea of using bracelets to reward people, but while an attractive idea, it wasn't practical, so the idea of rewarding people with a token was infinitely more compelling. And so, in 2015, Litercoin was born. Mind you, Litercoin is not like other crypto. It won't be listed on any exchange, and you won't be able to buy it. It can only be earned by downloading the Open Little Map app and starting recording the litter. Lidge argues that there is a low barrier to earning the token and notes that it will only be spendable at pre-approved stores, and these stores will be in the zero waste stores in the climate economy. Since launching the app in April 2017, there have been 6,500 users, with the new people coming on board daily. This growing community has been responsible for 500,000 tags and more than 350,000 photographs.
It's a lot in that, wasn't there?
I love that.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's actually going to take off, but the idea behind it, somebody bigger will come and adopt.
That's the thing, isn't it?
I really hope that there's more utility to the token.
Eventually, as it grows, there's bound to be, but it needs the adoption for it to do that.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of a cyclical thing because like if the token is not really worth doing it, not a lot of people can go. Yeah, well, obviously it's a good thing.
I think you'd be surprised.
Forget the token. Nobody cares about the token.
People about patting themselves on the back. I've done my bit. It's all about that.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah.
So if you look at, there's a chap in Gibraltar called Lewis Stagnetto, and he's made a Nemo app. And what you do on that app is you go around and you take pictures of all the sea life in your area, and it builds up the same kind of thing. It builds up a map with, jellyfish. So because certain types of fish are being killed and fished, that's changing the cycles. So there's more jellyfish than there used to be because the natural predator is being eaten. So he created this app, and I think he's got people all around the world using it. This takes a spark of some big company, like Julian says, to take this on board, and it will explode overnight.
Yeah, it will. It's a great idea.
And when it explodes, that's when the token will have utility.
Yeah.
And the utility of the token is you should be able to walk into a recycling shop where you can buy, your muesli and stuff, whatever.
And your pencils.
Yeah, and your pencils and your toothbrushes or whatever.
All companies that are actually charging more because they're having to for the packaging that they're using will get on board.
Yeah. So it's a brilliant idea, and it also helps governments work out where all the plastic's going.
Yeah.
So if they can track the rivers that it's coming from and they can track the countries, there's going to be I imagine there'll be some kind of next stage of this eco plan that they have, which is to get rid of all this plastic out of the ocean. And
I know I joked about the whales is not on the table. That's never going to be an idea. And the stones is an idea in a really, really weird way. But it's just a matter of getting people to realise their little bit that they do makes a difference.
Yeah.
But it's not for a monetary value.
No.
People want to do it because they want to pat themselves on the back and feel that they've done their bit. And I think that's exactly what this does.
Yeah. They do. You've got to make people feel good. Because like he says in there, these beaches are thousands of kilometres away.
Yeah.
You can't have a direct input on that.
No.
Now, if you took one person per city to take pictures of all the trash, and then you got all the Boy Scouts and the Girl Guides and the amateur football teams and all of that. In America, this is a good example of how it works. In America, on the highways, you're allowed to place a sign for your business on the highway. Yeah. But for that 1 kilometre stretch, you have to keep that 1 kilometre stretch clean.
Right.
Your business has to do that. So you sign up and you get 1 kilometre here, 1 kilometre here, and you go and clean it once every couple of months, and you go around with your plastic bags. So the business gets the advertising on the side of the road for free from the government. But, I mean, the motorways are absolute. This is in Colorado. I don't know if they've done it anywhere else. The roads are spotless.
Yeah.
There's no rubbish anywhere. And don't believe me, you mean America. It's a throwaway society. They chuck it all out. But You go past areas and there's people picking it up. So there's real world utility there.
Yeah.
There's also real world utility in saying, right, well, there's a great big load of rubbish on this street in Manchester, and then 2 or 3 different clubs go and clean it up. And then that token is paid to them as a reward for doing it.
So they have to take a photo after and then straight being cleaned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be independently verified by somebody who is, I don't know, the captain of Manchester or the supervisor of Manchester, and he just goes around to make sure that what they're doing is actually being done. It wouldn't take a great deal of time, and because of the hive mentality of it, it can be done on a huge scale very quickly. But like you said, it's not big enough yet.
Yeah.
But he's built something that is capable of supporting, of making a difference. So I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
The sea is a big thing in this, huge thing. I know it's obvious to say that, but it is massive.
Yeah.
Even the work that Lewis is doing here in Jib, fantastic.
It is,
I
absolutely.
saw an article last night actually about mangroves. They're replanting mangroves. You know, the water that's got the trees that grow in them. Because apparently mangroves absorb, I don't know what it was, maybe 4, maybe 10 times the amount of CO2 than rainforests.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything for me is coming from that area of oceans. But we've got to clear. I mean, how can you have land mass of 4 times the size of France and it's all just rubbish?
You can't.
Can we not scoop it all up and start making our plastic bricks?
Well, a young lad, I think he's about the same age as Brogan, he has invented a solar-powered scooper, and it just drags a great big net behind it. But the problem being is that there's that much rubbish in the ocean that it has to be emptied like weekly or every fortnight to actually take the rubbish out. And that's where the problem arises, is you can do it, but you can't do it for such a large scale.
It needs to go somewhere.
And
exactly.
what use are you going to put it all to?
Well, you can do a lot of things with rubbish.
Yeah, you can. We had that great idea years back about making plastic bricks.
Yeah.
It is a great idea.
Yeah. I know Nike are making trainers.
Football shirts have got reused plastic in them as well.
Yeah. So there's an untapped market for recycled plastic, isn't there? Because everybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah, it is.
What do we have next?
The cancer. Ethereum being used for cancer.
Even better, this one.
This one's good. Now, this is a change to the scheduled announcement. We were supposed to be doing a banking article.
That was dull, though.
But it was... It would have turned everybody watching... It would have sent everyone back to bed.
Yeah, it would. Do we have any rough idea of a synopsis of what it was about? Because I couldn't get my head around it.
No, I got halfway through and then I was falling asleep, so I turned it off. So it's something to do with basically using blockchain technology to replace the ledgers of banks. Not very exciting. Whereas this is world changing.
Good. All right. Real world adoption. Ethereum can be used to fight cancer. Reports. The cancer research team leveraged Ethereum-based smart contracts to update AI models that accurately predict the emergence of cancerous cells in the body. The research team used the swarm learning system, wherein all partners update the AI models simultaneously without needing any intermediary. We've been seeing the use of blockchain technology for several industrial applications. Now, a team of medical researchers is leveraging the Ethereum blockchain network for cancer research. 3 different teams involved in cancer research are using Ethereum smart contracts to update their AI models without passing them through any centralized authority. In April, Nature Medicine published a research paper called Swarm Learning for Decentralized Artificial Intelligence in Cancer Histopathology. As medical sciences and medical technology have been advancing, the team used artificial intelligence to predict the emergence of cancerous cells in patients. But one catch is that these AI systems run on a large input of data. As a result, the team of medical researchers pointed out the use of swarm learning, a system that leverages blockchain technology to avoid handing any power to a centralized entity.
See, they're the 2 things there. You've got an awful lot of information, and you've got political hurdles, because these are different countries, different political leaders. So that's one thing they've got to overcome. And then you've got this vast amount of data held in 3 different places.
It's probably held on a IPFS, is it called?
Mhm.
The storage version of that.
Yeah.
Oops, I just clicked on the article somewhere. The research team specifically mentioned that they use Ethereum smart contracts, allowing 3 separate computers to synchronize the AI model weights at a designated time. Or at designated times. Thus, all 3 partners updated the AI models simultaneously without needing any intermediary. This is a breakthrough moment for blockchain technology. It will further propel the use of blockchain-based smart contracts for other critical applications.
So, Brogan, from a technical point of view,
Yeah.
well, and then we'll go on to Julian. From a technical point of view, this hive mind, how do you think that's going to develop with AI? Do you think we're going to see a Terminator-style computer taking over the world?
Not really. I mean, I think the way it works and the way it's been said is basically one person or someone updates the weights, right, for the AI, and then it gets put onto the blockchain as a community, and then it all gets sent off to everybody else. I think that's the basis of the swarm learning thing, where one input which is updated gets sent off to everybody else. I don't think it's going to be some Terminator thing unless someone changes the weights to lie about the cancer or something and it kills a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to really make anything horrible like a robot or something.
Yeah. I mean, from your point of view then, crypto's held in very bad light because scammers, and we're going to talk about the sex change in a bit.
Yeah.
But from your point of view, you're sitting in a pub with your friends or a coffee house with your friends, and people say to you, well, what good is crypto to the world? I imagine this is going to be something you'd bring up.
Perfect, yeah. I mean, this is a decentralized knowledge, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
To put it that way.
Yeah.
So what we're saying, if I'm reading that right, is that at the moment you could have, as I had a really good friend that were researching things to do with anesthetics. So basically what you were researching is why do certain family members die when they're given an anesthetic? And it's linked to startled goats. So you've seen the videos of the goats that just suddenly put all the legs together and fall over.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
If you haven't, I advise you to Google it because it's fantastic. So a goat is shocked, and there can be a group of goats, and all their limbs go really, really stiff, and because of that, they all fall over.
Okay.
And the same reasoning behind their nervous system doing that is why certain small population have that reaction to general anaesthetic.
Wow.
So he were researching that in the UK, and the only other people researching it were in Australia. But because governments get involved, they weren't sharing their information. It were a race to find out who gets there, which is then a negative for people that are suffering with it. So what we're saying on this is the governments which are causing this issue are completely removed.
Yeah.
We're all sharing the same data.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the world benefits
Yeah.
because of this blockchain technology being timely and everybody seeing it instantly.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. So Vitalik Buterin, the chap who invented Ethereum, his goal with this was to create a world computer. That's his vision for Ethereum.
Yeah.
And that computer will process more than just transactions for, paying your bills. So this is a direct application of how he foresees the hive mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be used for this, but you require the ability to be able to put this into place. So maybe somebody like the Ethereum Foundation should be looking at setting aside developers to do this for cancer, any other kind of medical work that they're using on. Do you remember, I don't know if it's before your time, do you remember the screensaver you used to be able to download onto your computer that would analyse? It was the International Centre for Disease or something. And what you would do is you would download a tiny, tiny fraction of a problem that this disease centre couldn't solve. And your computer, while you were asleep or while you were out of the office or while the computer's in sleep mode, this screensaver would process that tiny, tiny fraction and then upload it.
Okay.
And then you could log in and see what you've directly contributed to I don't know. I don't think it was cancer. It may well have been. But we're talking about 10 or 15 years ago, before anyone had thought of the blockchain, and that was a similar hive mind.
Yeah.
But the scalability of it was it always had a central point of failure or point of political concern, whereas what Ethereum have got is such a decentralized system that now, I mean, there's no authority over it.
Yeah.
So scientists can actually get to work on solving
the
problems.
The problem with this is that, in theory, this sounds absolutely amazing and makes perfect logical sense. Is it all going to be dragged to its knees by corporates that are still going to want to make mass money out of it?
Well, if you look at cancer research,
Yeah.
they look at very specific cells or very specific things, and then they find what they then do is then they create a non-profit company. They take that non-profit company.
I've been on Julian the entire time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, supposed to be on chat together.
So they take that non-profit company and then they sell that company to pharmaceutical companies. So what might happen is that these things are solved in the blockchain, and then those pharmaceutical companies won't give the money back to the charities, but they'll just take the ideas straight off the blockchain and produce the cures themselves, so then the charity won't get the money. So that's a possibility, if you know what I mean, because it's all there, and it's the hive mind has come up with the solution, but who's going to produce the solution? It's going to be the pharmaceutical companies. So there might have to be some kind of international agreement whereby you can't patent it, for example, which then means everybody can produce it. Like they did with the C vaccine, didn't they? There was I don't think they could patent it, and that's why Oxford or Cambridge gave it away for free. So maybe, I mean, it's still, whichever way happens, if it stops people from dying from cancer,
absolutely,
it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Now we're going to skip VeChain, and now we're going to talk about Apple and Circle.
All right. Circle adds Apple Pay support to help crypto-related businesses. Payment via Apple's Safari browser or in-apps on iPhone, Apple Watch, iPad, and other supported devices is allowed. Apple Pay is now supported by Circle. For the uninitiated, Circle is the issuer of the USD coin, a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar. In an official announcement, Circle said some stuff. There. Actually, no, I'll read it out. It's not highlighted, but I'll read it out. We're excited to announce that eligible businesses who build with Circle can now help further boost their sales by accepting Apple Pay, an easy, secure, and private way to pay. Customers can quickly check out using the devices they carry every day. Apple Pay is also a safer and faster way to pay using the Safari browser and in-apps, because customers will no longer have to create an account or fill out lengthy forms. Circle's strategic partnership with Apple will enable payment via Apple's Safari browser or in-apps on iPhone. I've already said this. Apple Pay currently does not support cryptocurrency transactions. However, as part of this initiative, Apple Pay can now be used to make payments in Circle USDC, which will help boost business sales. It is worth noting that Apple has over 1.8 billion active devices around the world. In a Q 2022 earnings call, Apple CEO Tim Cook stated, Apple Pay is the second most popular digital wallet in the United States, trailing only PayPal. Meanwhile, Circle added Polygon USDC to support to its payments and treasury platform in June.
So,
big news.
It's huge news because only a month ago we were talking about Apple changing the terms and conditions to allow NFTs.
Yep.
And now we've got them accepting. I mean, Circle creates USDC, which is a stable coin. And as we said a few weeks ago, that's backed 1-for-1 with real US dollars.
Yep.
But it's technically a crypto dollar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
is its price the same as the dollar?
It's 1-for-1.
Great.
My question for you isn't this... Obviously, Apple are trying to protect themselves by keeping their gated community. So they're trying to concede some ground to crypto by only allowing this stablecoin. But isn't this really Apple adopting all of cryptocurrency?
Correct. I think it is. It's a gateway, isn't it?
Yeah. Because if you've got USDC,
Yeah, then you can move it after that.
it can go across Solana, it can go across all the different chains. So this is pretty much Apple saying, we now accept crypto.
Correct.
And at Circle's end, Circle have obviously got the USDC side. But if you've got any one of the, if you've got Ethereum, for example, you can just trade that to USDC and then buy the Apple products. Or in an ideal world, it automatically converts it to USDC and sends it to the merchant, doesn't it? And the costs of the transaction, it takes negligible. It takes out Visa and MasterCard. They're not needed.
Yeah.
I mean, what from your generation's point of view, I imagine you don't really care what currency you pay in as long as you get the item.
I suppose. I mean, there's one thing. I mean, obviously, might not be the whole generation, but I assume this is for everyone. I suppose the Bitcoin pizza thing. You bought spent how much on Bitcoin?
Yeah.
There's the threat of the currency going up, or going up in value after you've already spent your money. But as long as you use I suppose a stable coin, it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting the product.
Yeah.
And if you don't really care about what you're paying with, or if you don't really care about the crypto part of it, or the currency part of it, as long as you get your good, you're happy.
See, it also gets around this problem that some people have got with buying on Apple, isn't it? Because some countries, some cards in some countries will not allow you to pay through Apple Pay.
Yeah.
So now if you've got the ability to send $100 across the Polygon network in USDC to your wallet and then pay, then it makes the Visa and MasterCard problem mute. Yeah. The second thing, it's irreversible, it's immutable. So I imagine there'll be no chargebacks.
Yeah.
Because you can charge back on a credit card, but you can't charge back on over cryptocurrency.
No.
Even though Vitalik mentioned it, he was shot down. He was talking about refundable Ethereum transactions, for people who have their NFTs stolen. But in this instance, I don't think you can you?
No.
It would be up
Good
to the
for
merchants. It is, exactly. Great for merchants. Not only in the fact that if they could probably still process refunds, but it won't affect their chargeback rate with the credit cards.
Yeah.
So another good article.
Very.
Now this is the fun one. We've had the sex tape. We've now got the sex change, Brogan.
The two bookends.
The two bookends.
Yeah. The stream.
Well, I mean that's a good name for Sam Bankman-Fried and his girlfriend, isn't it? They are bookends. That's about as much use as they've been to the crypto industry. Bookends.
That implies though that they've held stuff up.
They have.
For a bit.
For a little while.
Yeah. FTX was the shelf. So when the shelf came down, the bookends just went.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Either direction.
Interesting point to make about Sam Bankman-Fried. When we mentioned last week about the back door and the money being siphoned out, the 547 million that was siphoned out by Sam Bankman-Fried was siphoned out via a back door to send to the Bermudan authorities. Now, I'm not sure that's legal, and I'm not sure that in a court of law he's going to get away with it.
No.
But anyway, this is another scammer. She managed to walk off with how much? $4 billion?
Probably. I'll probably say in the article somewhere. Okay. OneCoin scam. Crypto queen Ruja Ignatova may now be a man. Will now be a man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Called Brian.
OneCoin has criminal enigma mastermind Ruja
Brian,
also known as Crypto Queen.
I'll do the dubbing. Don't worry.
Okay, may now be a man. I'll just pause and use the name.
No, you don't have to pause. I'll just say Brian over your names.
Complete with short hair and a beard. Ignatova is the only woman on the FBI's list of 10 most wanted fugitives. The FBI alleges that Ignatova defrauded people who took part in OneCoin for $4 billion.
$4 billion.
The scheme had all the makings of a Ponzi. It used network marketing and commissions to gain popularity. Everyone who introduced a new buyer to the platform received commission. Brian McCall.
No, you're not allowed to say that.
No, but this is a whole thing. No. This guy called Brian McCall is a completely different guy.
He's now called Rouge. Carry on.
How convenient that is.
Yeah.
Brian McCall, an analyst at Tradingpedia, who led the research, said this might explain why it has been hard for authorities to track her down. He ruled out the possibility of her being dead. One suggests Ignatova might have had a complete gender transformation in that she is now a man with short hair and a beard.
It's a bit of a trick, this, because there's 8 possible scenarios, and only one of them is the man. But if you bring the man one
Yeah,
up,
it's all women.
the man is the funniest one.
It is, yeah.
It is. Looks a little bit like David Beckham in his early 40s.
Let's go back to
I mean,
her.
that's a good look.
Sure.
See, I think, what's that guy called? Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
I think Jack Grealish with a little bit of makeup, I don't even think he'd need a sex change. You?
Good looking bloke.
It's a good look. He's a good-looking bloke.
Yeah.
So have we gone through the 8 different scenarios?
Yeah, I've scrolled through them all.
There he is.
Yeah.
So, to evade prosecution,
Yes.
we're assuming that this is the level that she's gone to.
Brian's gone to.
I've got a bit more. Let's finish it off. And then we
Go on.
Go on.
There are suggestions that Bruja Ignatova could be hiding in luxury in Dubai. This was suggested by a special BBC podcast by Jamie Bartlett, released last month.
Jamie Bartlett, there's a name.
She was also spotted in Southeast Asia, specifically in Thailand. Ignatova allegedly bought a $20 million villa in the United Arab
Emirates. UAE.
Yes. Which may be where she has been hiding out for half a decade now. Someone suggesting that Ignatova is buying intel from the Bulgarian police. They say that that may be the reason she has appeared to outfox investigators for the past 5 years. OneCoin remains one of the biggest heist cases in crypto. A woman who sold potential financial freedom proved to be elusive, an enigma.
Is that it?
That's it.
Well, that podcast's going to get added to my list, I think, on the BBC Sounds.
Jamie Bartlett.
Mm.
Oh, you mean this one? Yeah.
This one, yeah.
If you bring the next page up,
Usually sounds, yeah.
that is the BBC podcast
I'm
about
looking forward to
the.
that.
Yes. Now, I think.
Another film in the making here, I think.
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they should make a film called Crypto 22.
The whole year,
Yeah.
that's going to have at least 3 sequels.
I'm thinking Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
right? And I'm thinking Crypto Ben, BitBoy Ben,
Yeah.
should be Gandalf, right? So he's my Gandalf. And I think Saruman needs to be played by Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
And who's that wizard that lives in the tower with the ball? Is that Saruman?
I don't know.
Yeah, that can be Brian.
Yeah.
I think you've got the makings of a trilogy here.
I think so.
We've got someone saying it looks nothing like David Beckham.
Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's what I'll say to that person. Yeah.
Enough.
She's bought off the Saudi royal family. So she's obviously in Saudi Arabia. There's a false flag report of her being in Thailand. I mean, let's not go down the route of Thailand.
No. Let's stay away from that.
Let's stay away from Thailand, especially Bangkok.
Yeah.
Let's not bring that up. So she's obviously in Saudi Arabia. She's got a villa there. Probably hasn't had a sex change. Probably is
not.
still called Ingrid.
Ruder.
Ruder. But I like the idea of her having a sex change and being called Brian.
For the film.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
because I imagine she'd be able to get a new passport. I think for 20
Yeah.
million quid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's got.
Got
I mean,
follow on somewhere.
yeah. I mean, I who's the chap that's now got immunity because he's become the ruler? Is that the Saudi royal prince?
I don't know.
The Saudi royal prince was being accused of various activities, including making somebody extinct, which I think is how you can say it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And because he's now become the president of Saudi Arabia, he then gets diplomatic immunity, so they will no longer keep the charges against him. Now, if that kind of stuff's going on, the chances are she's paid him $20 million. She's got a new passport. He's got a new passport. It's going to be very difficult for them to track it.
A new person who's changed.
Exactly. Very difficult. So, I don't know. I like this story, though, because it's one of those that it rumbles on in the background.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm sure in another couple of months' time, she'll either he or she will be arrested, or there'll be another story coming out.
Mm.
I don't know. We'll see. Anything you want to add to that?
Nothing. No, I think it's its own story.
I think it is.
It requires very little comment.
Now we are on to Q&A,
Question time, yes.
aren't we? We're doing quite well today.
Yes, it's 56 minutes. We've
We're ahead of
gone
schedule.
through it. We
Wrap
were missing
up
an
within
article.
the hour.
Yeah. We're missing an article. What time do you reckon we would have got to if we kept that other article in?
Well,
We'd
at
have-
least 90 minutes.
No,
Yeah.
it was a shocking
It
article.
was, really.
Right then, Q&A. We always start with Julian, but
Yes.
Today, change of plan.
we're changing it up.
Wowzers.
We're keeping it sexy.
Right.
Okay. I'm
We're
going to change who's me.
You.
Me?
Yes.
All right, well.
Spin the remote has landed on you.
All right, so my question is Razer or Alienware for Web3 gaming?
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Razer and Alienware are
Yeah.
two different brands of computers
Of computers.
and
With.
accessories.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
So
Right.
is that a Razer microphone you have there?
Yes, and you have one, and you have one.
Oh.
And this is a mouse.
Oh.
But this is an Alienware computer.
Yeah, you see.
Right. Okay.
So we're what's the word? We're non-binary on this.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think then?
I'm like the population with crypto coins. I don't understand that we're using this, and yet we already are.
And we're talking to people
Yeah.
in different places
Yeah.
in real time.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Who'd
Exactly.
have thought it?
Exactly. We did have another comment that you didn't read out.
What was that?
Money.
Somebody said Apple have come a full
Yeah, I saw that
circle.
one. Didn't think I
So
was.
despite mentioning the fact that goats fall over, we've had no comments about that.
No.
No.
All I was going to say was
this,
that
this guy said, I love clean beaches.
So do I.
It's a bit.
Please Google the goats.
Oh well.
well,
How about, you know what? If I can muster it up, I could try and find it on YouTube.
You'll find it easily. There's
Well,
hundreds
like
of
put
them.
it on the stream.
Yeah.
we'll put it at the stream. So you answer this question.
Yes.
We'll go to Julian. While we're on Julian, you can go and
Yeah,
find.
while on YouTube,
yeah.
I'll find it and
Yeah.
put it on.
Startled goats. Just Google that. I've Googled it many times.
What are you going to say? Razer or...
Razer.
There we go.
Alienware's just bad.
Good answer. Right, what's Julian's question?
Julian's question is, will SBF go to jail?
Ooh.
Cracker.
Got him right in the
That's
fields
a
with that one,
tricky
didn't you?
That is. I would say. Well, obviously you should. You should already be there.
You sound like Matt Hancock right now.
Well, I'm sitting on the fence.
You're covering
getting
all...
splinters.
You're getting splinters up your arse.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
So the Arthur Scargill in you says yes.
Yes.
Right. Good
And
answer.
for the reason that he has to be made an example of.
Even though he's best friends with Biden, Clinton...
I know what you're saying.
Gary
You've got your
Gensler.
tinfoil on, it's shining in the sunlight. I would say yes, he has to.
Has to go to prison.
Possibly because of what you've just said.
Yeah.
There's a negative.
I wanted something controversial. You know, like...
What your question?
No, for you. Why don't you just say something like he needs to be put on the electric chair?
I'm not going to say anything like that.
You know in the Green Mile where he puts him on the chair without putting the wet cloth in his mouth?
Yeah.
So he goes and sets on fire.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something like that. That would
No.
I could have clipped that for Twitter.
No.
Yeah.
What's my question? I'm going to have to
Well,
be
before I
controversial
ask
for
you,
all
I've
of
got
us.
some insight on. We could have a little talk about this. I'd rather have a dirty sandy beach than a clean pebbly beach.
No. We're all about the environment.
We
aren't
are.
Yeah, but how dirty is the dirty beach?
Too dirty.
Yeah.
As the gentleman said earlier, or the lady, everybody wants a clean beach.
Yeah.
But would you want a pebbly beach?
Well,
If it's clean, yeah.
the chap's
you want to sit
called
on pebbles.
the chap's
Yeah, but-
called Soda Can. I mean, that says everything, doesn't it?
Which is better to close your eyes on, a sandy beach or a pebbly beach? A pebbly beach, the noise of that ocean hitting the pebbles, far superior to sand. You get nothing.
But do you want to enjoy your time on the beach?
Yeah.
So why are you just
If
sitting
I've
on
got a
pebbles?
deck chair, which I always would have,
Yeah.
I'm not a towel person. You can put a deck chair anywhere.
You get too much flatulence lying down.
I just
Gravity
get
works its way
incredible
out.
backache.
Yeah.
But you're right, yeah, you do.
Do you know why Pebble Beach was pulled and why the building was knocked down?
No.
Had concrete cancer. Oh, you've never heard of that term before, have you?
Never heard of that, no.
Got concrete cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Concrete cancer.
Yeah, had to pull the building down. Google that.
Wow.
Oh, is it like deteriorating concrete or something?
Yeah, it was rotting away because they'd done something to it and it hadn't been built properly, and the concrete got what in concrete terms is concrete cancer, and they had to bulldoze it. Shame, isn't it?
There you go.
What's my question
Your
then? Let's move on from the slightly less controversial subject of soda can talking about dirty beaches.
Stack BTC or Ethereum?
Sorry?
Stack BTC or Ethereum?
Again, I don't understand the question.
Neither do I.
That's just a load
I
of
assume
words
it's like
just
hold.
put together.
Does it mean hold?
The term stack
Yeah,
Hold?
comes from poker, where you stack your chips.
right,
Do you stack your chips on Bitcoin or stack your chips on Ethereum?
right. So do I invest in Bitcoin or do I invest in Ethereum?
Yeah. Do you-
Why didn't we just put that?
Do you because we didn't ask the question.
Oh, okay.
We weren't the question asker.
It's one of your sort, is it?
It's one of my kind, yes. My answer would be very simple. DCA into Bitcoin, wait for the Bitcoin run to finish, then when altcoin season starts, sell your Bitcoin, buy into Ethereum, wait for that to have its run, and then sell that and buy into the smaller cap top 10 coins,
And then start again.
and then start again.
But we're not giving them financial advice, are we?
That isn't financial advice. I'm giving him
Your
or her
opinion.
Yeah.
my opinion on what I would do.
Right.
And then take some of those profits
Yeah.
and put it into buying sacks and go to the local river or the local beach,
Yeah.
pick up the rubbish and do your bit for the environment.
Give yourself a pat on the back. Well earned.
Yeah.
Job done.
Exactly. Save the beaches, save the whales.
Yeah.
Have we got startled goat syndrome up?
Yes. Let me get.
Can we
the
play a very
website.
small clip so we don't get demonetised
Yeah, we should be fine.
or demonised, as I like to call it?
Did you find it? And it's quite
yeah.
quite plentiful, isn't it, out there?
Oh yeah, tons. There's like 10-minute videos of it.
Yeah. It's quite therapeutic.
Do we get to watch it on the screen?
Yeah, but it might be a bit late.
Shouldn't laugh at it. I don't approve of the laughter.
Is this like cow tipping?
What's cow tipping?
Cow tipping is you go into a field at night when the cows are
there's
asleep.
no human involvement.
Here we go.
It's a bit late on that. It's like 15 seconds late.
Oh, the poor little so-and-sos.
But it can happen for any reason.
So if
So I
you,
would imagine if you've got thunder and lightning and stuff, this also happens to them because it's a purely scared reaction.
is that why foxes freeze?
Probably.
Because when
Yeah.
you scare a fox and it freezes.
Oh.
I never thought we'd finish the stream. That's enough. We're going to get cut
We're
off.
taking it off.
For-
Last
you
one,
s-
just
You
last
can
one, just
see
last
why
one.
I've been watching it, can't you?
Ah.
You don't want to turn that off, do you?
Yeah, it's addictive actually.
From
Well,
what I can gather, all of them afterwards are perfectly fine. It's just a
Oh, yeah.
part of the makeup.
Yeah,
if you walk down any major city at 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, you will see startled goat syndrome in various ladies anywhere. They'll all be there on the backs, drinks in one hand like that. Right.
Are we on 3 cameras?
Oh yeah.
Because your face is gold.
Oh, look, there we go. We've got the messages up.
Yeah, I think I fixed it.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's it. Oh, look, we've hit exactly an hour.
Brilliant.
We've done it this
Hit
week.
the sweet
Hour and
spot.
5 minutes.
Well, it's 1 minute past the hour.
Brilliant.
Didn't start 3 minutes
We
only.
can't include your 3-minute intro. That doesn't count.
No.
Oh,
It's the quality, not the quantity.
Yep.
We've,
So
we've
we've got what? Another stream on Wednesday?
another stream
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
What time is that?
Same as always.
6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. Central
European time.
European time. I nearly said something out of
Yeah.
turn there. And we'll probably be talking about something we know nothing about
Yeah.
at this moment in time, because that's the speed that
That
crypto
things are changing.
Yeah.
things are changing.
Yeah.
We might have
Like the
arrests.
Yeah.
Constantly expanding.
We might even have a censored version of the tape.
Oh no.
I can't wait for that. We might
No, but
take
then you're going to have to censor that.
I'm going
then.
to take some
How miserable that's
stills.
going to be.
I'll
If you have
take some stills And I'll replace Sam Bankman-Fried and all the stills with Gandalf.
Okay.
And I'll replace her with Hermione.
Yeah.
And it'll be Gandalf and Hermione.
The World Cup will have started as well.
I have no interest. I am boycotting the World Cup.
Good for you.
I do not agree with a ban of alcohol.
We had the conversation before that we disagreed with everything entailed with this place.
What place? Crypto Warehouse?
We're not even going to mention them.
Oh.
Yeah. That thing that gets at the back of your throat when you've got a bad cold.
Tonsils? Tonsillitis? Yeah, I don't agree with it.
No.
So it starts on Sunday. Yeah. We'll call them... That's a good, actually. We'll call them Phlegm.
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 The country of phlegm.
Yeah. The World Cup of Phlegm.
Yeah.
We're not into that. I'm not going to watch it.
We're not happy with it.
Mrs. Fitz will be very happy that there'll be no World Cup on in our house.
Yeah.
I don't care if we get to the final. I'm not watching it. It's disgraceful. They should never have been given it.
Correct.
They've been bribed.
It's paid out everybody they could possibly think of.
Yeah, and Sepp Blatter should be rotting in a jail and
Yeah.
not retired. But anyway, thanks for watching.
Click
Thank
and
you.
subscribe.
Yeah. Like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Make sure your notifications are down.
Oh, he's off again.
There, point down. Point down.
It's becoming like a catchphrase, isn't it? We're not pointing down.
See you on Wednesday.
Turn notifications on so you don't miss the streams.
Turn the camera off. It's all gone.
He's left Discord. You've left. You tell my phone. Thank you.